So, Doc, people listen to us for nonsense, and we give it to them in spades. Nonsense, nonsense, nonsense. Some would even say, on our best days, malarkey. Braves, defending champs. Boy, it sure would be a shame if there was no season next year and we were just still the defending champs.
Also, this guy that got hit, how old was he?
46.
What a loser, just sissy man. You just got punched in the face by a 90-year-old man? Come on, dude.
I'll bet Doc is like the Sinbad of Ames, Iowa.
Oh,
because people, I didn't realize, I thought it was just a Doc thing with the corn jokes. Iowa people love corn jokes.
Well, you know what they say, knee high by July, baby.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that's killing in the Midwest right now. I'm sure when that hits their ears, they're like, that Doc, he gets us.
Doc, what do I love more than anything? That's right, an angry football team.
I prefer to think of Warsaw as like a battle of who's the best saw, right? So you have like a sawzall, you have a skill saw, you have a hacksaw, handsaw. It's just a battle of saws till the death.
Welcome to the Spaghetti Junction Boys podcast, coming to you from BEA, beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. As always, I'm your host, William Hildebrand, joined by the incomparable Doc Jacobson. Before we get things started here, we want to thank our friends at Manscaped. Support for the Spaghetti Junction Boys podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code SJBAtlanta at manscaped.com. If my math's correct, that's about 8 million balls. Doc, I got the dirtiest look in an office bathroom today. And to be clear, it's like a hallway bathroom, so there's multiple urinals, multiple stalls.
Multiple entryways?
One entryway.
Okay. It's important to note.
One way in, one way out. If there's a fire, you got to know where that door is, buddy. But I was at a urinal. Guy comes in a couple seconds later, stands at the one next to me. I don't flush urinals. I don't. And I just let it, when I was done peeing, I just left, went and washed my hands, walked out. And, I'm not looking at another guy as I'm leaving the urinal, but I could feel his stare, and he, followed me. It's like if someone shit in a toilet and left it kind of look that he gave me. And I want to know from you as another guy, because I can't go and ask my wife this. She doesn't get it.
She doesn't use urinals.
Yeah, I want to ask. God, I hope not. I got to ask you. Am I in the wrong for not flushing a urinal?
Absolutely not. They make urinals to be waterless nowadays, so a flush is just, it is a common courtesy. I'll give the guy that. But it's not a death stares, drilling, his eyeballs into the back of your head situation. I'll even one-up you on it. I don't even wash my hands after I use a urinal. It's like touching your armpit. There's no difference.
Please wash your hands after touching your armpit. I could not be more clear about that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, maybe I need to start washing my hands some more. Maybe that's how I got through COVID.
Are you touching your armpits a lot?
I like giving a little sniff every now and again.
Are you doing that move? Are you doing the old swipe?
Little two-finger dangler. Sniffy dippy. Why not?
I can't imagine that's dry 5 months out of the year.
No, usually not. Usually a little moist.
So, okay. Well,
but I don't think there's anything wrong with not flushing a urinal because there's no standing water. If you'd pissed into an actual toilet and not flushed, totally different argument we're working on here.
Great.
You're pissing on a urinal cake designed to mask the scent of urine.
And there's holes. It's all going down there. It's gravity. Sort of like I don't wash my legs. When I'm in the shower, I do not wash my legs because I put soap. I wash my thighs. I don't wash my calves or my feet. And so if I'm putting soap and water on my knees and up, that soap and water is going to make its way to my calves. And I'm 31, and not once has someone accused me of having dirty calves. And so I think of this the same way. I think of gravity. You're just peeing, it's going down into the holes. As in terms of all the different kinds of bathroom faux pas and flubs you could have, I think it's way down the list.
Way
But
down.
guys, when there's, I mean, everyone knows this. If there's, multiple if there's 2 urinals, there's nothing you could do. I mean, I guess you could I'll go and pee in the stall if the stall's available while there's another guy peeing at a urinal. That's fine. But as 2, kind of it all goes out the window. And if there's dividers, almost everything goes out the window. Unless you're at like a stadium and there's like 30 and there's a bunch available and you stand next to someone, then you're just a weird guy.
Yeah.
To be honest. But obviously the urinal standing next to, big faux pas. If you're peeing on a toilet seat, especially like if you're at a place that's, nicer, like if you're in an Exxon bathroom, kind of anything goes. It just is what it is, man. My apologies to Exxon, but I'm not the one doing the worst in there.
It's not only Exxon either. Texaco, any of those,
They're not
fly-by-night
doing
gas
it well.
stations.
You do it to a Love's, you're going to jail.
Yeah, or Quick Trip or Racetrack. They'll get you.
Yes. And like if you pee in a toilet and you don't flush it, that's not great. But urinal, come on. What is another bathroom flub that I can add to my argument when I see this guy again?
Farting when at the urinal. Great icebreaker in public. You don't know the people around you. Just give a little toot. Get a couple laughs. It works. But in a business sense, that could be a pretty big flub. You don't want to, take a quick piss. You got a guy farting up a room. It's not great.
You're at a bar, everyone in that bathroom's laughing.
Oh, they're loving it.
But if you're at a workplace, that's uncomfortable.
Yeah, very uncomfortable.
And I'm the guy when it comes to farts. Like I have a squeaky chair at my desk, and I'm the asshole who feels like I have to go the extra length to say that was my chair. Like it'll just be like make a little creak and like, man, my chair's loud today. Anyone believe this chair that I've got?
I want to propose a question to you. If you're given the option, air dryer, paper towels, this might be a flub. Which one are you going to?
Without doubt, paper towels.
Okay, good. I thought you were a crazy person for a second.
No,
you were a crazy person.
You're exactly right. If anyone uses the air dryer when a towel option is presented, they're a psychopath.
There's only one option that I would allow in the air drying vicinity to beat out paper towels, and that's those Dyson blades. Those things are magic. I don't know how it does it. Those things get your hands dry. Everything else in the air blowing, and you'll take it even as far as a hair dryer. Doesn't do shit. None of it works.
Yeah, those stupid like rectangle silverish boxes with the circular vent that's coming down, that does nothing for anyone.
Looks like the grill of a 1955 Chevy. It's exactly what it looks like.
I mean, I just don't do that. Yeah, that pass.
I'm a firm believer that just spreads germs. I don't know. People can come at me. Bring it on, science.
You're our science expert on the podcast. You can't be throwing – actually, no, keep throwing around.
Yeah. And paper towels are way cleaner. And then you get the paper towel to grab the door handles. You don't got to do that shit.
That is my move.
Yeah. And then you Michael Jordan. Hit
exactly right.
Hit it on the way back. Oh, yeah.
Big towel – that's my first thing I look for in the bathroom. Like, where's the trash can? Am I able to hit it there? And so if I have to air dry, you know what I do? I go hand underneath the shirt, pull the handle.
Ooh, tough to do in work attire, but I like
Very
it.
tough to do. I kind of because we have a handle.
You wear ties at work? You can just go with a tie, a little tie option, tie grab.
I do the elbow to prop the little handle open and pull it.
Oh, okay.
If I'm in a pinch.
I like some of the doors. They put the little like upside down C on the bottom for your foot to get it going a little bit. Those are nice.
That's a class move.
The new one I saw, they put a C by your arm to have you grab it with your forearm and open it. And I'm like, oh, those are pretty small forearm holds, buddy.
I've had gains. I can't fit in there, pal.
Can't fit in that one, buddy.
Yeah, I don't skip upper body, bro.
So much like your thoughts on washing your calves as useless, my next thing is steak knives. I can't tell you how many steak knives I have in my house right now. It might be triple digits. I'm not even kidding. And it's not like a murderer thing. It's just I have somehow collected steak knives over the years, and they're the most useless. I use 3 steak knives a month, if that. I don't understand why I have so many steak knives.
Well, again, I don't think that this is like an everyone thing. I think this is a you thing because upstairs I have like 6 steak knives,
6?
probably.
Damn, I gotta downscale my steak knives. It must be a me thing. 'Cause I have at least no less than 15 steak knives, and I live alone.
Man, yeah, that's fair.
I have half a month's worth of steak knives if I don't ever want to do dishes. I don't even have any forks or plates. I don't know how it came to this way.
Yeah, that's something I think we need to see some receipts on. And I don't mean receipts as in like I need you to verify it. I mean like literal receipts. I want to see how this all happened.
Oh, we can talk about it off air. I know exactly how it happened.
Okay. Well, the NFL draft, my beautiful, beautiful time, came and went last weekend. The Jaguars shocked the world. Well, they shocked the world like Wednesday when everyone started finding out they're going to take Trevon Walker over Aiden Hutchinson. The Falcons, home Falcons can't even get it out. My God. Actually,
It was that bad.
yeah, well, they've gotten some good grades from some experts, but from my Falcons friends and the fan base on Twitter, everyone hated it. And the London pick, everyone was just like, okay, that's fine. And then it got to because the way the board was breaking really didn't have anyone falling that would have made sense for the Falcons at 8. Like there was none of the 3 big pass rushers fell. None of the big 2 offensive linemen fell. Sauce Gardner and Derek Stingley, even if they wanted to pair AJ Terrell with someone, gone. Then they trade up in the second round. And they put the video on the Falcons, and they were going nuts in that room. And I just thought, this is Malik Willis. It's got to be Malik Willis. Wrong. Defensive end from Penn State. Like they were going nuts like they just secured the franchise. And then eventually they take a quarterback in the 3rd round, and they took the dude who everyone had between 3rd and 5th on their board of best quarterback. Malik Willis there, Matt Corral's there, is the 2nd quarterback taken in the draft. And they go with Desmond Ridder, who apparently teams fell in love with as like a winner, and they just love his personality and all that. And I just don't get that.
No, he's not a winner. I don't think.
Well, he is a winner. I mean, he led Cincinnati to the playoff.
Yeah. But was it him or was it that defense? I mean, Cincinnati was pretty solid year round. They had a couple of tough games, but it was
more guys drafted than Alabama this year.
That is insane. That's nuts. I know Georgia went off in round 1. I mean, that was absurd.
Georgia had 15 players drafted this year.
And I think 12 of them or 7 of them were in the first round. Nuts.
5.
5.
Did you start that with 12 in the first round?
I saw something. Twitter lies. That's all I have to say.
Don't blame Twitter. That's Elon's baby.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of interesting with both Willis and Corral on the board to go with Ridder. Willis, you have the skills of maybe he can sit behind Mariota, learn the game, learn from the coaching staff, learn from Arthur Smith, and then eventually take over. Matt Corral, same thing. Both of them, a lot of folks view as need adjustments as they get into their NFL career. But I don't think Desmond Ridder's NFL ready. And so if you're going to spend some time with Marcus Mariota, get the guy with the higher ceiling. Like it's really – I was watching the NFL Network on day 2 until Ian Rappaport decided to be one of the worst people on earth. And credit to Pat McAfee for calling him out on it today. But Desmond Ridder when he was drafted, they go to an analyst, and he said, "He reminds me a lot of Marcus Mariota." So he reminds me of the guy you already have, and a guy who's kind of famous with being mostly a draft bust.
Yeah.
I mean, not a horrible career. He's not an Achilles Smith, but not great, Bob.
Not great, Bob.
That's who you're comparing him to. And then I go to ESPN, and someone compared him to Dak Prescott. And I said, "Oh, okay, what's even happening here anymore?" But
those two quarterbacks should never be in the same sentence ever.
what was the deal with the Vikings guy, the coach from Blue Mountain State? Did you see him present?
No.
My God. I thought I was never going to hear who the Vikings were going to pick. In the NFL, I get it. They want to make this a big spectacle. They've done a great job. I'm tuned in literally all 3 days, every year. But, God, I can't stand the random guest pickers. It does nothing for me. That they're just like, here, making the Chiefs pick is Tony Gonzalez. And Chiefs fans are like, I remember you. And then, 31 fan bases boo. The guy feels like he has to talk because it's the only thing he's doing that weekend is talking for 30 seconds on stage during the draft. And so then some dudes just go on and on. But the coach in Blue Mountain State, I have no idea this guy's name.
I got it here. It's Ed Marinero. He played for the Vikings 72 to 75.
He's drafted second round by the Vikings. And I kid you not, he talked for 4 minutes. He talked for so long that one of the stage folks for ESPN, the draft, I don't know who she was working for, but she comes over and you can't hear what she says, but she puts her hand on his back and points at the card. You got to read the card. And he goes, I'm not going to do it. And as a joke,
yeah,
you would think the crowd would go nuts if they were feeling it. But everyone was like, God, okay, please.
Yeah.
Please tell us what MAC offensive lineman the Vikings are drafting now. Just get to it.
I have to imagine being at the draft too, especially in Vegas. It's kind of like you're half-assed there, You're just like, God, I'm glad I'm here, but get me through this because I'm ready to go back to the tables. I don't want to be here anymore. It's hot. I'm on a black top. It's 85 degrees. They don't even sell, 4 hours to get a beer, however long it is. You saw the crowd there. There's a bunch of people there.
Yeah.
And you just got to be like, dude, I don't care what you have to say. Get through it. Get this show on the road. I'm ready to get back to Club Tau or whatever the hell it's out there.
You can find the tweet on our Twitter page at SJB Atlanta. But one of the wildest things from the draft to me was the NFL Network camera, or I think it was NFL Network camera guy, had zero chill. There was a Jaguars fan who was, we'll just say she was well endowed. And she was wearing a dress that you would see in Vegas.
Yeah.
And the guy had to be at her hip level with the camera directly on her. She was jumping up and down for a couple seconds and then just stood there waiting for the Jaguars to pick. And the camera was on her for I think it was 12 seconds. And it looked like it was her, boyfriend or husband or significant other next to her who just had to be like, dude, this 6-year-old camera guy is about to catch my right fist.
They must have worked for MLB. I swear, every baseball cameraman picks them out like crazy. It's nuts.
This guy, it's even weirder because it's a crowd on a flat level. So he just
he's crouching down, actually shouting it.
He's 4 feet away from her, and I don't think it was just look how big of a Jaguars fan she is. It was, hey,
I got some good footage for later.
Yeah, it was long enough that I'm sure HR was just like, we can't bring Craig back here anymore.
Yeah.
After what he did, we missed a pick.
We were live on air.
There was no camera on the stage. That was supposed to be him. And who's the board op who chose to stay with the shot?
Get him out of here, too. Get him out of here.
That could be the real dirtbag in this whole thing. Because you have a dozen, 2 dozen cameras that you can go to all these different feeds, and this guy's just sitting on his hands like, no, this is still the one. Yeah. No, Craig, leave it here. Yeah, we've got the shot.
I'll go a step further. Save this cameraman's life, because there's no way in hell he's not being directed to find these well-endowed women. He had to have been told, hey, you find someone that's, lighting up your scoreboard, get him on the camera.
I don't know.
Because otherwise, as soon as they would just focus on the lady, the guy in the operator in the booth would be like, all right, come on, move it on. He stood there, like you said, for 12 seconds. That's a lot of seconds.
Leave it. I feel bad for any women that were in that production truck who had to just be like,
really, Bob?
What are we doing here? Speaking of kind of what are we doing? I know it was an accident, but if it was petty, it would have been my favorite thing on the planet. Bobby Witt Jr., one of the top prospects in baseball, hit his first career home run, and Harrison Bader, center fielder for the Cardinals, the ball comes back into play, and you thought he was tossing it to fans. It was an away game. It was at Kansas City. He tosses it straight over the fans into a waterfall.
Love it. That's a huge troll move.
It's a great troll to, like, fans wanting to get a ball, because they had to be harassing him.
Oh, yeah.
Because if it was just like a kid, he'd toss it to the kid. But they had to be giving him the business. And so instead of toss it to him, he tosses it clear over their heads, because it's like the Lane Kiffin at Tennessee move, where everyone's yelling at you, but when they think they can get something, they start being nice to you and yelling like, no, wait, Harrison, you're the best. Like the Tennessee fans throwing golf balls at Lane Kiffin, and then when he grabs his visor and tosses it, you see like 5 dudes.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
That lets you know where the real power dynamic is. And so Harrison Bader tosses that into a fountain. Turns out it's the kid's first career home run, which is just fantastic. Everyone else has this pristine, oh, yeah, no, that up there, first home run. I couldn't believe it. I thought it felt good off the bat. Like this beautiful moment anytime they have guests in the house. Maybe he was going to give it to his dad or maybe do something with it. But now it's just this waterlogged, unrecognizable ball just sitting in this waterfall.
Is that hands on sight between the center fielder and this guy? Is that
Harrison Bader's kind of a built dude?
Yeah.
You want that. I don't know if you want that. I don't know how big Bobby Witt Jr. is.
But I think, for, let's say they're equal in comparison, right? That's got to be a hands-on sight situation. That's this guy's first ever MLB. And instead of, he could have chucked it to a fan. Yeah.
It's hands-on sight. Like, if he doesn't apologize and be like, man, sorry, I had no idea. If he's just like, yeah, no, you know what? Go to hell. I threw it in the waterfall. You know what? If I could do it again, I would. Then you throw hands. But if he has to not know that that's the case. Because if it's his second home run ball ever, that's just hilarious.
Yeah. You almost think he has to know, though, dude, because like every single batter, the outfielders have the NFL-style play call sheet, and they have all the guys' stats, what they like to do, and this guy's new enough. He's like, I don't see any dingers on his resume. He had to have known. I'm going on the fact that he knew, and this guy's an ass. Also because he's a Cardinal. Fuck the Cardinals.
I love how wild and reckless you've been this podcast. I hope before this ends, you have another science take from hell. So
I could easily come up with one.
We got a little science here for you to end the show. Travis Wingfield, host of the Drive Time podcast, part of the Miami Dolphins podcast network, had a tweet that will be our Dissect This tweet of the week. Travis tweeted, quote, when Jevon Holland, this is Miami Dolphins safety, first got to Florida, he says he was nervous about a new environment. So much so that he saw a frog on his first South Florida jog, thought it was a gator, and ran back to his hotel room. End tweet.
I was at a complete loss of words when I read this in the pre-show. And I granted, never been in the woods kind of guy, whatever. I get it. It's fine. Any animal is going to startle you. kind of when you're out in the wild like that in a new area, but a frog. We're talking about a baseball-sized animal this big, got nothing to do, no teeth, lives in water. It might give you a little tongue action, but hey, who doesn't like that on a Friday night? Come
South
on.
Florida frogs. I mean, I don't know if it's a buffa. I think those are toads, but you can get those big guys that are like the size of a softball. Now, again, to your credit, they would not frighten me. Also, you would think he was born in Canada, and then he spent his high school years in the Bay Area and then went to Oregon. But you'd still think at some point he would have seen what a gator's like, right? Like, Florida had to have recruited this guy, or he had to have watched a Florida game at one point and been like, okay, that doesn't look like a frog.
Yeah, unless like
Also, you don't know what frogs are, because this isn't.
That's where I'm at. Yes, like.
Have you seen a frog before?
I'm just convinced that Canadian picture books, like A for alligator, A for apple, just A for Arctic, all terrible northern Great White North things.
No, I think Canada is so sheltered that if something's scary, they just don't teach kids about it.
Oh man,
There's like, there's Canadians growing up who are just like, it's a what? You called it a shark? Oh boy, this sounds. We never heard of such a thing. You're yanking my chain, aren't you? Like, oh boy, they don't learn about fires. They don't learn about natural disasters. They don't learn about predatory reptiles.
that should be our next thing. We should make a Canadian style picture book and put it out. Right, it's like A for an alligator, like we do like the animal picture book here. And, when you're growing up, we just do it Canadian style.
Well, I'm pretty sure when they learn the alphabet, it's A for hey buddy.
B, bacon, Canadian style. C, Canadian bacon.
No, but I imagine that there had to be another walker or jogger nearby who, if I saw someone see something, turn around and sprint back the way they came, I'm also running away.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it is. But maybe you're just like, okay, I can't imagine anything big. I would assume it's a snake that he was running away from. Or like maybe I have my headphones in and I just didn't hear gunshots. And that's what it was. But I have to imagine you'd be pretty confused if you come up and see it. You're just like, wait, was that guy that was just drafted by the Dolphins?
Also, how's his agent not like, here's an alligator? Hold up a picture of an alligator. Like, these are prevalent in Florida. Watch out for these.
When I was pledging my fraternity, we had a long list of rules. Some of the rules were pretty obvious. Like, there were certain words you shouldn't say because it just made you sound a certain way. There's certain clothing brands you couldn't wear. But then there were some rules that were because someone had done it before. Sort of like you have to put the caution coffee is hot on the coffee because someone's been burnt and sued. So we had rules like one of them was you couldn't wear rollerblades because a pledge a few years earlier was rollerblading to class. And that just apparently looked ridiculous. So, of course, I had to throw away my rollerblades. But
avid rollerblader.
When they have those rookie symposiums, they teach them about money. They talk about, treating women right. They talk about all these different things. And now I really hope that they have an animal identification course just to help everybody out. You get some guy from Atlanta who goes up to the Packers and is like, all right, this is a moose. Be afraid if you see one of these. Get going.
This is snow.
If you see this,
also get home ASAP. Dude, we should go teach that class. Can we petition to the NFL? Say, hey, all right. We know nothing about, keeping money or anything like that or dealing with big contracts, but we've got you on the real world aspect.
Yeah. Being born in Florida, I can lead a course on all the reptiles to avoid if you're drafted to one of those three teams. We should actually do this for a lot of different things to avoid. New Orleans Saints, if you see a guy in overalls and there's only one strap on and there's no shirt underneath. He's got a straw hat, and you can't understand a word he says. Either eat his gumbo if he's selling you any. If not, get out of there.
Arizona Cardinals. You get an old lady pulling her chompers out. Start running.
Also, check your shoes for scorpions.
Yes. Don't be baling hay. Even in Iowa, they got scorpions there.
Yeah, if you're in Houston and you go outside and you see the sun, immediately get inside. Danger.
Chicago, you see Chief Keef, run.
I mean, I think we're making a pretty strong case. I'm actually going to take this clip and send it to the NFL, and we'll see if that can be our side gig. You know, all those Uber commercials talk about your side hustle. This will be our side hustle.
Dude, let's make it happen. I'm all in.
Yeah, I think this would be
and we'll be in player safety. We'll be player safety protocol.
Oh, and that's how we get them. We tell them, they're like, guys, listen, I appreciate your enthusiasm. This is not a good idea. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you cared about player safety. Do you really want someone leaking to the media that you are going to put your players in danger? You want the headline out there? National Football League okay with players eaten by frogs. Is that what you want out there? Then fine. Be our guest. Don't pay us our hefty fee and put us up in a hotel and give us a booze tab. Your call, buddy.
Yeah, we don't need food. We don't need any of that. We got that covered. We just need a booze tab.
Have it in Miami. Let us eat and drink at Flanagan's for the weekend.
Oh, we'll be living like kings.
Yeah, put us up in a Marriott. We're not picky. It doesn't have to be a 4 seasons. It could be a 3 seasons for all we care. Not take the seasons off.
I mean, if you want to get fancy, give us the Clevelander. I'll go hang out there for a weekend.
Yeah, love the Clevelander. Great. If you ever go to the Clevelander, the margaritas, get the extra tequila shot in there.
A little floater.
Money in the long run, yeah, because it's like 2 shots of tequila in the margarita, and the margarita is like $15. But then adding a floater was like $4, and I said, okay, all right, buddy, you got me. And boy, did they ever.
And we could even be like, going back to Arizona, you might not know about the daylight savings laws here. We'll help you. We really can help out the players big time.
We're your regional guides.
Yeah. Oh man, dude, we all cover a region. We just fly out and just do we do mini camp for the team, but it's just what can hurt you, non-football wise.
If you're in St. Louis, please update your player manual. They moved quite a few years ago.
If you're in St. Louis, you're in the wrong city.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Before we let you go, we want to thank our friends over at Manscaped once more. We were sent packages from Manscaped for our packages. Included in there was the only Lawnmower 4.0. This trimmer is the future of grooming and features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof and also has a 400K LED spotlight in case you need a more precise shave. Say goodbye to the mess on the bathroom floor and say hello to a cleaner, fresher shave. It's time to take care of yourself. So go to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping with the code SJBAtlanta at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code SJBAtlanta. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Thanks as always for listening, and we'll see you next week.